What role did Valamis play in supporting your journey?
What I loved about Valamis is you brought in that SME, that experience from your other clients to help us realize that too often when you get an LMS, you believe it's like a one-shot deal. And helping us realize that you have to have something that's future-proof, have to have something that the LMS is an add-on to. So what is your culture of learning actually going to look like? What is your support system there and how are you going to run this? Because what I loved about Valamis was it wasn't not just about getting us an LMS and getting us across the line. We got real advice about how to build that culture where that's worked elsewhere. And that's crucial when you think about our span across North America.
I was working with Simon on the criteria that Simon was going to market with and some of the selection process. One of the things that I think Valamis did that was very, very helpful to Simon and the team was they worked quite hard with the consulting relationship, even way before they'd even sent a proposal in. So they asked for workshop time to help understand the business, understand the learners, understand Simon's stakeholders. I think that added to the confidence that Simon was talking about. When Valamis came back with the proposal, they understood more clearly what's a good solution to this problem because they'd spent time on identifying and defining the problem as well.
You even bring back a memory because it's sort of come to the end of that sales sort of process. And I remember, I think it was your chief operating officer, he actually said, no, let's pause this and we want to do another deep dive to identify your need. And I love that because that really forced us to think, what do we want to achieve with this system?
So it sounds like you were finding a real partnership when you were evaluating Valamis. So why was it important for Lambda Chi to have that partnership experience when you were looking for a platform rather than just getting a platform and having that bit of technology?
It's important for me to have the right partner because I want to have a relationship that for as long as possible I can future-proof. Equally, our learning population, they're in their early 20s. So they have very distinct needs and expectations regarding a learning platform. And finally, and this is quite key, they do not join Lambda Chi to learn about finance, recruiting and sales. They join for an experience to be around other men in college throughout their university years. So we needed to have a platform that really engaged the learner, made them sit up and go, this is adding value. There's something here. We are immediately earning their trust. And I felt Valamis, in terms of your offering and in terms of your development pipeline, offered those features.
One of the things that was really important for you is that this was your first implementation of a learning system as well. There wasn't a learning system in the organization before. There wasn't necessarily the kind of expectations you might see from people who are transitioning from one system to another. There wasn't the infrastructure. There weren't the roles and the organization around it as well. And I think it was really important. The partnership was to help manage and create that as much as it is to implement the system and build the programs that Simon was talking about as well. And I think that's a part that I think is really easy for people to overlook. Where you go through an RFP process, you get the proposal back, but it's that reality of the relationship building and the understanding of what's easy and what isn't easy in the organization. I think that was really important as well.
Very quickly, I decided that we were going to do the vast majority of our work in-house. So I needed an LMS provider that would help us create that capability. Valamis delivered on that and more. And the result of that now, 2.5 years down the line, I have a completely internal committed design team. So it wasn't about handing over a product. It very much was, in my view, developing a relationship.